Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official NFL upset alert predictions here for week number 11, where I go through some potential upset games. And this first one, man, did this game take a turn on me. I liked the Browns pretty heavily. I had them winning this game 24-10. Nobody knew anything about Deshaun Watson. We thought he was going to be perfectly fine to play. Turns out he's out for the season. The spread has gone down to 1.5, and I still do like the Browns in this game. We expect very low scoring, of course, but it just feels like the Steelers are due for one of these losses. They're worse than their record is. They're always outgained. And the Browns, they still have a very good defense. They're going to be at home. Kenny Pickett is due to throw some interceptions. I will still take them, this time by 3 points, but they do cover the adjusted 1-point spread there. The over-under in this game, very low, sitting around 32, and that is without any crazy weather. It's not like we're going to have 5-degree weather. Imagine, the over-under would be into the 20s if that was the case. The next game, it is Houston. I believe this line has gone to -5 for Houston, taking on Arizona, and I'm liking Arizona to cover a 5-point spread. A 4-point spread, it gets a little bit dicey, but I'm guessing a higher scoring game. And for as good as CJ Stroud has been, he's still just a rookie. They might still be without Nico Collins. I know Noah Brown has filled in admirably and done very well. But just in general, Kyler Murray showing no rust last week. I'm expecting a very good offensive performance from him, a higher scoring game, and I do find value in Arizona. I don't think they're going to win this game. And honestly, if you look at Houston's schedule, they have 3 straight home games. They're all winnable. CJ Stroud can really get into the MVP race if he isn't already in it, but like late season MVP race for a rookie quarterback, that is virtually unheard of. The next 1 o'clock game, it is Dallas traveling to Carolina. Dallas is down to about 10.5-point favorites. I loved Carolina on Tuesday when I made my pick, and I still do love them to keep it close. Carolina has no incentive to lose these games. I understand the narrative is they're not a good team, but they're growing and they're trying to get Bryce Young more confidence. He will continue to improve. Young will be fine. And a Dallas team coming off that blowout win over the Giants. They're on the road. It's a sleepy game in Carolina. You're facing a team that right now is terrible. They're going to get caught up here. They will win. Maybe Dak will throw a few interceptions because he's due for some, but it'll be closer than expected. This is the NFL. You have to come to expect things like this to happen. Dallas isn't just going to win all these games by 50 points. There will be close matchups, including this one, which will surprise a lot of people. Next, it is Chicago traveling to Detroit. So Justin Fields, it was announced he's playing. Detroit has got to be deathly afraid of something like that. Justin Fields, extremely lethal. I almost wonder if you are the Cleveland Browns, I would really think about doing a Deshaun Watson for Justin Fields trade. Could you imagine what a trade that would be for the Browns? But yeah, Justin Fields is very underrated. He's extremely impressive. He will keep this game close. I'm expecting a lot of rushing yards from him, and also his connection with DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore had 230 yards in a single game on Thursday night against the Commanders when Justin Fields easily outdueled Sam Howell, and now everyone thinks Sam Howell is this good young quarterback. I don't really understand it. We saw what happened on Thursday night when Justin Fields beat him, but either way, Justin Fields will keep this game close against a Detroit team. They've been giving up big plays. We saw what happened against Justin Herbert. Their defense wasn't very good. I understand they won, and I'm happy they won because I had them -2 and they won by a field goal. But there's no way they're covering a 10-point spread against this Chicago team that has their starter back. Next we have, how about the LA Chargers going to the frozen tundra? They're going to Lambeau. Now, they got lucky. This game is not later in the season. It still should be relatively cold this time of year. You do have the Chargers -3, and I like the Chargers to win this game. So I do not have it as an upset, but I would not bet on the Chargers. I do not have a lot of faith in them. I think right now, sitting at 4-5, they need this win. Green Bay, on the other hand, there is a narrative developing that you look at Jordan Love, some of the throws he's made, he's been impressive. Now, he's been very inconsistent, but he does have significant arm talent. The ball comes out of his hand really well, and he's got a really strong arm. So Jordan Love, he's rewriting the narrative a little bit. Can he put it all together? I don't know about this game, but I would say if I had to pick, -3, I would take Green Bay possibly to win this game outright, but I do have, this being a push with the Chargers winning by 3. And then the 8:20 game, it is Denver at home against Minnesota. I do like the magic carpet ride for Josh Dobbs, possibly to end. Well, not really. I mean, they'd still be 6-5. But yeah, this is a game. Denver at home. They're coming off a crazy win against Buffalo on the road. They're sitting 2.5-point favorites. They've got the crowd behind them. They've got a primetime spot. Everything is pointing towards a Denver victory. It feels like if you bet against Denver, you're really swimming up water in a game like this. And if you bet with Denver, there's like a 90% chance they cover this 2.5-point spread. It seems like Denver at home, especially against Josh Dobbs, who's only been there for 10 days, it feels free to me. It really does feel like a good one there. And then moving on to my parlays. So there's 3 different parlays. I do have the over in the Bears-Lions game. That game being played in a dome. We would expect higher scoring action there, especially with both defenses not playing the best recently. You do have Arizona plus the 5. That game getting bet up from 4 to 5. I'm really liking Arizona to cover that spread. The over 46.5 in the Vegas-Miami game. Seems like whenever Miami's at home, they're good for 31 points. So if they score 31, I could see Vegas scoring some garbage time points with Aiden O'Connell, maybe like a 34-17 type final. You get the over 46.5. The next one, you do have Carolina plus the 10.5. I already talked about that versus Dallas. The Browns -2. So they did go back to -2. They were originally -1 after it was announced that Deshaun Watson was out and DTR would start, but now they're back to -2, and I do like the Browns to cover that. I'm still taking them even with the quarterback situation. And then the under in the Chargers-Packers game, just a little bit colder game there. We will go in on the under for that one. And then the final one, it's a 4-teamer. It is the Jaguars. This is all money line. Jaguars at home versus the Titans. The Titans kind of cool off with Will Levis last week against the Buccaneers. The Jaguars need this win. They're coming off that loss at home to San Francisco. I am going in on the 49ers, just on the money line, -625. That game should not be competitive at all. I would take the 49ers minus. I think they're -12 right now. Denver on the money line. That's kind of the risky play in this parlay, -135. And then Buffalo. I just can't see Buffalo having a losing record. They've been really unlucky in terms of turnover luck this season. They should be able to win that game. And then let's just take a look at where everyone is betting when it comes to these 1 o'clock games. So the first thing that sticks out to me, I guess a lot of money coming in on Pittsburgh. Not all that surprising considering the Browns quarterback situation. A lot of money coming in on the Giants. Yes, I did like the Giants when they were +10. Now they're +9.5. Everyone is in on the Giants, believe it or not, because we know how the NFL is. But maybe we're outthinking ourselves now. If everyone is in on the Giants, maybe we are overthinking ourselves. And then people like the under 37. I don't know, man. That's a low over-under. I would not want to bet an under 37 there. You could take a look. Look at that. 99% of the cash in on the under. Looks like some crazy, heavy bettor threw a bunch of money in on the under 46.5 in the Raiders-Dolphins game. I would not trust that personally. Also, a ton of money coming in on, wow, Miami is down -13.5. They were like -11 or 12. Tons of money coming in on the Dolphins coming off their bye. You also do have more money coming in on Carolina. A lot of people like the under 42.5. I would agree with that. I'd like the that's kind of a lower number, but I guess we'll see. You do have more money coming in on Arizona. They're 74% of it. And then you do have a lot of money coming in on Chicago. They are sitting +7.5 now after it was announced that Justin Fields was playing. Moving on to the 4 o'clock, some of the 4 o'clock games. You can see money coming in on the Rams, so possibly Matt Stafford back there. Seems to be a pick'em game, +1 right now. You do have money coming in on Tampa Bay. I do not agree with that. I think San Francisco is going to crush Tampa this week. Also, slightly more money coming in on the Jets, but it's relatively even. Tons of money coming in on the under 30.5 in that Jets-Bills game. And then slightly more money on the Denver Broncos to beat Minnesota by over 2.5 points with money on the under 42.5. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on X. Link to that's always in the description.